My narcissist sister ruined every birthday I ever had until I threw hers at the restaurant where her husband takes his mistress. I'm Melissa, and I need you to understand something right from the start. I'm not a petty person. I'm really not. But there's only so many years you can watch someone destroy what should be your happiest memories before something inside you just snaps. The morning I decided to throw my sister's birthday party, I was sitting in my car outside an Italian restaurant called Bellissimo. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from pure, concentrated rage mixed with something that felt almost like joy. Let me back up just a little bit. My sister Vanessa is 3 years older than me. Growing up, she was the golden child, the pretty one, the smart one, the one who could do no wrong in our parents' eyes. And me, I was just there, the backup kid, the one who existed to make Vanessa look even better by comparison. But here's the thing about having a narcissist for a sister. It's not just that they need to be the center of attention. It's that they need to make sure you're not ever my 7th birthday. Mom had spent weeks planning this princess party for me. I was obsessed with Cinderella, had the dress, the shoes, everything. She had rented a bounce house, ordered a custom cake shaped like a castle, invited my entire first grade class. 23 kids were supposed to come. I remember counting them on my fingers every night before bed. 23 friends, 23 guests, the biggest party I'd ever had. The morning of my party, Vanessa locked herself in the bathroom and refused to come out. She screamed that she was sick, that her stomach hurt, that she might be dying. She was wailing so loudly the neighbors came over to check if everything was okay. My mom had to cancel the party. We spent my entire birthday at the emergency room. I sat in those plastic chairs in my Cinderella dress, watching the clock tick away the hours my party was supposed to be happening. I watched other kids in the waiting room stare at me in my fancy dress with my princess tiara. I felt ridiculous, small, forgotten. The doctors found nothing wrong with Vanessa. They ran tests, checked everything. Nothing. She made a miraculous recovery the moment we got home. Suddenly she was hungry, wanted pizza, was laughing and watching TV like nothing had happened. I never got that party. Mom said we'd reschedule, but we never did. The bounce house rental was non-refundable. The castle cake went in the trash, and I went to school the next Monday to face 23 kids asking why I canceled my party. Vanessa had told me to tell them I got sick, so that's what I said. I lied to cover for her. I was 7 years old, my 10th birthday. I had finally made friends at school. Real friends. Girls who sat with me at lunch, who picked me for their team in gym class, who passed me notes in class. Mom said I could have a sleepover. 6 girls were supposed to come. We were going to watch movies, paint our nails, tell ghost stories, do all the things 10-year-old girls do at sleepovers. I had been planning it for weeks. I had saved my allowance to buy special snacks, had picked out the movies, had borrowed a sleeping bag from our cousin because we didn't have enough. I was so excited I couldn't sleep for 3 nights before. The day before the party, Vanessa told everyone at school that I had lice. She went to each of my friends individually, told them she saw bugs crawling in my hair, told them it was so bad that Mom had to shave my head, told them it was disgusting and contagious and they'd get it too if they came to my sleepover. All 6 girls canceled. Their moms called my mom. Mom was mortified. She checked my hair thoroughly. Nothing. Not a single bug. She called the school nurse who confirmed I was clean, but the damage was done. The rumor spread. For the rest of the year, kids avoided sitting near me, avoided touching anything I touched. I became the lice girl. I spent my 10th birthday crying in my room while Vanessa watched movies in the living room, eating the popcorn and candy I had bought with my allowance for my friends. She didn't even ask if she could have it, just took it. My 13th birthday. Sweet 13, right? Wrong. Vanessa announced at dinner the night before that she was pregnant. She was 16, unmarried, still in high school. Our parents freaked out. Dad started yelling. Mom started crying. Vanessa was crying and saying she was scared, that she didn't know what to do, that she needed support. My birthday the next day was completely forgotten. No cake, no presents. No acknowledgement at all. Everyone was too busy dealing with Vanessa's crisis. I spent my 13th birthday sitting in my room, listening to my parents fight about what to do, listening to Vanessa sob and talk about her options, about the boy who got her pregnant, about her future. Looking back now, I'm 90% sure she wasn't even pregnant. She never brought it up again after that week. Never went to a doctor, never showed, just suddenly stopped talking about it and everyone was too relieved to question it. But my 13th birthday was gone, erased, like it never happened. My 16th birthday, the big one, the one every girl dreams about, the one that's supposed to be special and memorable and perfect. I had saved my own money for an entire year, babysat every weekend, worked at the neighbor's yard sale, collected bottles for the deposit. I had saved $300, enough to rent a small venue at the community center, enough to buy decorations and food and a cake. I had invited my whole class, 42 people. I had made invitations by hand, spent hours on them. This was going to be my party, my moment, the birthday that would erase all the others, the one people would remember. Vanessa showed up uninvited with her new boyfriend, Marcus. I didn't even know she was coming. She just appeared halfway through the party with this guy I'd never met. Tall, handsome, charming. Everyone immediately gravitated toward her, like always. And then she got down on one knee, in the middle of my birthday party, in the middle of the community center that I had paid for with my own money, and she proposed to him, to Marcus. She had a ring and everything. A cheap ring, but still, she proposed. Everyone thought it was so romantic, so quirky and unexpected. Girls were crying, guys were cheering. Someone started chanting, "Say yes," and everyone joined in. Marcus looked shocked, but he said yes. And my birthday party became their engagement celebration. The DJ I had hired started playing romantic songs for them. People were taking photos of them, congratulating them. My birthday cake became their engagement cake. Someone even scraped my name off it and wrote, "Congrats, Vanessa and Marcus," in the icing. I stood in the corner and watched my 16th birthday disappear. Watched it become another Vanessa moment. Another Vanessa memory. I left my own party early. No one noticed. My 18th birthday, I thought maybe this one would be different. I was going to college in the fall. I was an adult now. Surely Vanessa would leave this one alone. I was wrong. I had planned a small dinner. Just family. Nothing fancy. Nothing that could be hijacked. We went to a nice restaurant. Somewhere Vanessa picked, actually. She insisted on it. Said she knew the perfect place. Halfway through dinner, Vanessa announced that she and Marcus were expecting their first child. A real pregnancy this time. She had ultrasound photos and everything. She passed them around the table. Mom started crying happy tears. Dad was beaming. Everyone was so excited. My 18th birthday dinner became a baby announcement celebration. The waiters brought out champagne for everyone except me because I wasn't 21 yet. They toasted to Vanessa and the baby. To new life. To new beginnings. No one toasted to me. No one even said happy birthday after that announcement, my 21st birthday, the legal drinking age. Another big milestone. I was working full-time by then. Had my own apartment. I invited a few friends to a bar. Nothing elaborate. Just drinks and maybe dancing. Vanessa called me that morning. Said she needed to talk to me. Said it was urgent. Could I come over before my plans? Just for an hour, I went. Of course I went. She was my sister. When I got there, she told me Marcus had been in a car accident. That he was in the hospital. That she needed someone to watch their daughter Emma while she went to be with him. Just for a few hours. Please, Melissa. Please. I canceled my birthday plans. Spent my 21st birthday babysitting my 3-year-old niece. Feeding her. Playing with her. Putting her to bed. Vanessa didn't come back until 2 in the morning. Marcus was fine. Minor fender bender. Nothing serious. He was already home. She had stayed at the hospital anyway, talking to the nurses, getting attention, being the worried wife. She didn't apologize for ruining my birthday. Didn't even acknowledge it. Just thanked me for watching Emma and left. My 25th birthday. Quarter century. I had been planning a trip. Solo travel to Seattle. I had always wanted to see the Space Needle. Had saved up. Booked a hotel. Bought a plane ticket. I was leaving the morning of my birthday. The night before I was supposed to leave, Vanessa called. Emma was sick. Really sick? High fever. They needed to take her to the children's hospital 2 hours away. Could I watch their house? Feed their dog? Water their plants? Just for a couple days? I canceled my trip. Lost the money on the hotel. The plane ticket was non-refundable. I spent my 25th birthday at Vanessa's house. Alone. With their dog. Watering their plants. Emma turned out to have a mild cold. They were back the next day, and it went on. And on and on. My 28th birthday last year. The most recent one before all this happened. I didn't plan anything. Didn't tell anyone it was my birthday. Didn't post about it on social media. I just went to work, came home, ordered takeout, went to bed. Vanessa called me that night, late, almost midnight, crying, saying she needed someone to talk to, that Marcus was distant, that she felt alone, that she needed her sister. Could I come over? Please. I went. Spent 2 hours past midnight listening to her talk about her marriage, her feelings, her problems. She never once mentioned it was my birthday. Never once asked about me. Just talked and talked and talked until I was falling asleep on her couch. When I finally said I needed to go home, she hugged me and said, "Thank you for always being there for me." And I realized that's all I was to her. Someone who was there. Someone in the background. Someone who existed to support her, to celebrate her, to make her feel important. I was 31 years old, and I had never had a single birthday that was actually mine. So when I saw Marcus at that mall food court 3 weeks before Vanessa's 31st birthday, something inside me just clicked, like a switch being flipped. Like all those years of being invisible suddenly came into focus as rage. I didn't just take a video. I followed them, discreetly, from a distance. I watched them finish their lunch, watched them leave together, watched them get into Marcus's car, watched him drive to a hotel, watched them go inside together. I sat in my car in that hotel parking lot for 3 hours. When they came out, Jennifer was fixing her hair. Marcus was smiling. They kissed again before getting into separate cars. Long and deep and completely shameless. I took photos of all of it. The kissing, the hotel, their cars in the parking lot, everything. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Vanessa, about whether I should tell her, about whether she even deserved to know, about all those birthdays, about Emma, their daughter who was now 15 years old, about what this would do to their family. But then I thought about my 7th birthday, about sitting in that emergency room in my princess dress, about how small I felt, how forgotten, and I thought, why should I protect her? Why should I spare her pain when she never spared me? So I hired the private investigator. His name was Robert, mid-50s, former police detective. He came highly recommended by a friend of a friend. I met him at a coffee shop and showed him what I had. "This is pretty solid evidence already," he said, flipping through the photos on my phone. "Why do you need me?" "I need to know everything," I said. "How long it's been going on, where they meet, how often, her name, her background, everything." Robert looked at me carefully. "This is your sister's husband?" "Yes." "And you're not going to tell her yet?" "Not yet." He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I've been doing this job for 20 years. I've seen a lot of people want revenge on cheaters, but going after your own sister's husband? That's different. That's personal in a way most cases aren't." "You sure about this?" "I'm sure," I said. "How much?" $800 for 2 weeks of surveillance. Photos, timeline, full background check on the other woman. You'll know everything there is to know. I paid him half up front, cash. He got to work immediately. Those 2 weeks were torture. I had to act normal around Vanessa, had to smile and nod when she talked about Marcus, about their their life, about their plans. She called me 3 times during those 2 weeks. Once to complain about Emma's attitude. Once to ask if I wanted to go shopping with her. Once to tell me about a fight she and Marcus had over something stupid. Every time she called, I thought about telling her. About just blurting it out. Your husband is cheating on you. He's been cheating for months. With a woman named Jennifer. At a restaurant called Bellissimo. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. But I didn't. I waited. I let Robert do his job. I let the information pile up. When Robert finally sent me the full report, it was worse than I thought. Marcus and Jennifer had been seeing each other for 8 months. They met at a pharmaceutical conference. She was a sales rep. He was there representing his dental supply company. They had exchanged numbers, started texting, then meeting for lunch, then drinks, then hotel rooms. The report had everything. Credit card statements showing charges at Bellissimo, hotel receipts, text messages that Robert had somehow obtained, photos of them together at the restaurant, at hotels, at her apartment, walking on the street holding hands, kissing in parking lots. It was undeniable, comprehensive, devastating. I sat at my kitchen table reading through it all, page after page of evidence, of betrayal, of lies. Marcus had been lying to Vanessa for 8 months. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he told her he had late meetings, client dinners, work obligations, and she believed him. Why wouldn't she? They'd been married for 12 years. They had a daughter, a house, a life, and he was throwing it all away for Jennifer. 26 years old, blonde, beautiful, ambitious, everything Vanessa was when Marcus met her 15 years ago. I looked at the calendar. Vanessa's birthday was in 5 days. Thursday, November 3rd. The same day of the week Marcus always met Jennifer. That's when the idea really solidified. Not just exposing him, but exposing him on her birthday, at the exact restaurant where he took his mistress, in the most public, humiliating way possible. The way she had humiliated me. The way she had made my pain public for everyone to see. I knew it was cruel. I knew it was calculated. I knew it crossed lines that probably shouldn't be crossed, but I didn't care. Or maybe I cared, but I was too angry to let that stop me. I called Bellissimo the next morning, asked to speak to the manager. His name was Antonio. Italian accent. Warm voice. Very professional. I'd like to make a reservation for a birthday party, I said. Thursday, November 3rd, for about 20 people. Certainly. What time? 7 p.m. There was a pause. 7 p.m. on Thursdays is our busiest time. We typically reserve that time for our regular customers. Perhaps 6 or 8 would work better. It has to be 7, I said. And I need a table in the main dining room, right in the center, where everyone can see. Another pause. May I ask why the specific requirements? I thought quickly. My sister loves being the center of attention. It's a surprise party. I want her to feel celebrated, like everyone in the restaurant is there for her. That part wasn't a lie. I see, Antonio said. I could hear the smile in his voice. That's very thoughtful. Yes, we can accommodate that. I'll make sure you have our best table, right in the center of the main room. Perfect, I said. And Antonio, is your restaurant usually busy on Thursday nights at 7? Very busy. It's date night for many of our regular couples. We have several standing reservations at that time every week. My heart started beating faster. Standing reservations? Yes. Customers who come every week at the same time. We keep their favorite tables for them. That's wonderful, I said. That's exactly the atmosphere I want. Romantic, busy, special. I gave him my credit card information, made the reservation official, hung up feeling like I had just lit a fuse on a bomb. Now I just had to wait for it to explode. I spent the next few days inviting people. I called mom and dad, told them I wanted to do something special for Vanessa, that I'd been thinking about how I wanted to be a better sister. Mom actually cried, said she was so proud of me, said this was exactly what our family needed. I invited Aunt Linda, cousin Rachel, Vanessa's friends from her book club, her co-workers, Marcus's brother David and his wife, about 20 people total. Everyone said yes. Everyone was excited. Everyone thought it was so sweet that I was doing this for my sister. The guilt tried to creep in during those days. Late at night when I couldn't sleep, when I thought about Emma, about what this would do to her, about what it would do to our family, about whether I was becoming the villain in this story. But then I'd remember. I'd remember my 10th birthday and the lice rumor. I'd remember my 16th birthday and the proposal. I'd remember sitting in an emergency room in a princess dress. I'd remember every single moment I was made invisible. And the guilt would fade back into rage. I told everyone it was a surprise party. Told them to arrive at 6:45. Told them we'd all be there waiting when Vanessa arrived at 7. I texted Vanessa the day before and told her I was taking her to dinner for her birthday. Just the two of us. Sister's night out. She seemed suspicious, but agreed. The day of the party, I woke up with this strange calm, like I'd passed through the anxiety and rage and come out the other side into something cold and determined. I went to work, did my job, came home, showered, put on a nice dress, did my makeup, looked at myself in the mirror. Are you really doing this? I asked my reflection. My reflection didn't answer, but I knew I was. I was really doing this. I got to Bellissimo at 6:15. Wanted to be there early, to set everything up, to make sure everything was perfect. Antonio greeted me at the door. Miss Melissa, welcome. We have everything ready for you. He showed me to our table. It was perfect. Right in the center of the main dining room. Large round table that could seat 20 comfortably. White tablecloth, candles, beautiful place settings, and most importantly, visible from every angle of the restaurant, from the entrance, from the bar, from every other table. I had brought decorations. Not too many. Just enough to make it clear this was a birthday celebration. balloons in gold and silver, a banner that said "Happy Birthday, Vanessa" in huge glittery letters that I hung on the wall behind our table, a small centerpiece with flowers, and a 31 in sparkly numbers. Antonio helped me set everything up. He was so kind, so helpful. Had no idea he was helping me orchestrate what was about to be the most dramatic scene his restaurant had ever witnessed. "Your sister is very lucky to have you," he said as we finished arranging the balloons. I smiled, didn't respond, didn't trust my voice. By 6:30, the restaurant was starting to fill up. Couples mostly. Well-dressed people out for a nice Thursday night dinner, date night, romance, soft lighting, and softer music. Everyone looked happy, content, unaware that they were about to witness something that would end up on the internet. The guests started arriving at 6:45 like I asked. Mom came first with Dad. She was wearing a nice dress, had gotten her hair done. She looked so happy, so proud. She hugged me tight. "This is so wonderful, Melissa. Vanessa is going to be so surprised." "She definitely will be," I said. That was true. Dad patted me on the shoulder, gave me his rare smile. "Good job, kiddo." Aunt Linda arrived next, then Cousin Rachel, then Vanessa's book club friends, Kelly, Diane, and Amber, then her co-workers from the dental office, then Marcus's brother David and his wife Christine. Everyone was dressed up. Everyone was excited. Everyone was smiling and chatting and completely oblivious to what was about to happen. At 6:55, I looked around our table. Everyone was there except Vanessa and Marcus. Perfect. I texted Vanessa, running 5 minutes late. "So sorry, go ahead and go inside. Ask for the reservation under my name. We'll be right there," she texted back immediately. "Okay, but hurry up. I don't want to wait alone." "Where's Marcus?" My stomach twisted. "He's meeting us there, right? He said he had a late meeting, but he'd come straight from work." "Of course he did, because Thursday at 7 was his standing date with Jennifer." I didn't respond, just watched the entrance, waiting. At 6:58, Vanessa walked through the door of Bellissimo. She was wearing a tight black dress that hugged every curve. Her dark hair was styled in loose waves, makeup perfect, red lips. She looked absolutely beautiful. She always did. That had never been a problem for Vanessa. She glanced around the restaurant. Her eyes found our table immediately, found all of us waiting, found the decorations, found the banner with her name. Her face lit up like Christmas morning. That surprised, but not really surprised expression that people make when they expect something like this. She pressed her hand to her chest in mock shock, started walking toward our table with this huge smile on her face, and then everyone started singing, "Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you." The other diners in the restaurant looked over, smiled. Some even joined in singing. Birthday celebrations are happy things, joyful things. Everyone loves being part of someone else's happiness. Vanessa was soaking it in. She reached our table, hugged Mom, hugged Dad, waved at everyone else. She was glowing. This was her element, being celebrated, being seen, being the star of the show. "Oh my God, you guys," she squealed. "This is amazing." "Melissa, you did all this?" "I did," I said. My voice was steady, calm. "Happy birthday, Vanessa. This is the best surprise. Thank you so much." She hugged me. Actually hugged me. I could smell her perfume. Expensive. Something Marcus probably bought her. With money he should have been spending on his family. Everyone continued singing. The restaurant staff brought over a bottle of champagne, complimentary. Antonio caught my eye from across the room and gave me a thumbs up. He was so pleased his restaurant was hosting such a nice family celebration. The song was just ending. People were clapping. Vanessa was blowing kisses and doing a little bow, eating up every second of attention. And then the door opened. I saw him before Vanessa did. Before anyone did. I had been watching, waiting for this exact moment. Marcus walked in wearing a dark suit. He looked good. Put together. Like a man who had just come from work. Except he hadn't come from work. He had come from Jennifer's apartment. From the photos in Robert's report, I knew that's where he always went before meeting her at Bellissimo. And she was with him. Jennifer. Even more beautiful in person than in the photos. Blonde hair falling in perfect waves past her shoulders. The red dress she was wearing wasn't appropriate for November weather. Too thin, too tight, too much. But she wore it like she owned the world. Her hand was clasped in Marcus's, their fingers intertwined, comfortable, familiar, like they'd done this 100 times before. Because they had. I watched Marcus scan the restaurant for their usual table. I knew from Robert's report they always sat at a corner table by the window. Private, romantic, their spot. But then his eyes landed on our group, on the balloons, on the banner, on Vanessa. I watched every emotion cross his face in the span of about 3 seconds. Confusion, recognition, shock, horror, fear, pure, undiluted fear. The color drained from his face so fast I thought he might pass out. His hand was still holding Jennifer's. He tried to drop it, to pull away, but his body had frozen. Every muscle locked up. He was a deer in headlights. A man watching his entire life implode in real time. Jennifer was still looking at her phone, smiling at something on the screen, completely oblivious to the disaster unfolding around her. Vanessa was still facing our table, still smiling, still waving, still soaking in the attention and the love and the celebration. She hadn't turned around yet, hadn't seen, didn't know, but everyone else at our table had seen. Mom's smile had frozen on her face. Dad's eyes had gone wide. Aunt Linda gasped, quietly, but I heard it. Kelly from book club grabbed Amber's arm. Marcus's brother David stood up halfway from his chair like he was going to do something. Stop something, but what could he stop? It was already happening. The restaurant was still relatively noisy. Other conversations, other tables. The clinking of silverware and glasses. Soft music playing overhead. But at our table, everything had gone completely silent. The happy birthday song had died mid-clap. Everyone was staring at something behind Vanessa. That's when she finally noticed. Finally realized everyone was looking at something. That all the joy and excitement had drained from the atmosphere. atmosphere. She turned around slowly, following everyone's gaze to the entrance, and she saw him. For a moment, time stopped. Literally stopped. Like the universe itself held its breath. Vanessa's eyes locked onto Marcus, then moved to Jennifer, to the red dress, to their hands, still clasped together, still frozen. Then back to Marcus's face, to the horror written across every feature. Marcus? Her voice came out small, uncertain, like she couldn't quite process what she was seeing, like her brain was refusing to accept the information her eyes were providing. What are you doing here? The entire restaurant had gone quiet now. Not just our table, everyone, every single person in Bellissimo had stopped eating, stopped talking, stopped moving. All eyes were on this scene unfolding in the center of the room. Marcus opened his mouth, closed it. His face was white as the tablecloth. Vanessa, I can explain. Explain what? Vanessa's voice was getting higher, sharper. I could hear the confusion starting to shift into something else, something darker. Explain why you're here with, she gestured at Jennifer, her hand shaking. With her? On my birthday? Jennifer finally looked up from her phone, finally noticed Marcus wasn't moving, finally followed his gaze to Vanessa, to all of us, to the birthday decorations, to the scene she had just walked into. Her face went from confused to horrified in about 2 seconds. Marcus, who is this woman? His wife, I said. Loud enough for everyone to hear, clear enough that there was no mistaking it. That's his wife, of 12 years. And that's their daughter, Emma. I pointed to Emma, who had been sitting quietly at our table, confused about why her dad was here with another woman. I hadn't even mentioned Emma yet in my narration. She was there, 15 years old, wearing a nice dress her mom had bought her for this birthday dinner. She had been excited to celebrate her mom's birthday. She loved her mom, worshipped her even. And now she was watching her entire world collapse. Dad? Emma's voice was tiny, broken. Who is that? Jennifer's eyes went wide. She looked at Emma, then at Vanessa, then at Marcus. You have a daughter? Her voice was shrill, panicked. You told me you were divorced. You said you had no kids. Divorced? Vanessa's voice cracked on the word. She took a step toward Marcus, then another. Divorced? Marcus held up his hands, defensive, placating. Baby, please. Let's talk about this at home. Not here. Not in front of everyone. Not in front of everyone. Vanessa let out a laugh that sounded like glass breaking. You brought your mistress to my birthday party and you want to talk about this at home? I didn't know it was your birthday party, Marcus shouted. His own panic was setting in. His carefully constructed double life was disintegrating in front of 50 witnesses. How was I supposed to know you'd be here? You said you were busy tonight, so that makes it okay? Vanessa's voice was getting louder, wilder. That makes it okay that you're here with her? Other diners were pulling out their phones now. I could see them, holding them up, recording. This was too good. Too dramatic, too real. This wasn't just dinner theater. This was a train wreck in real time, and no one could look away. Jennifer tried to pull her hand free from Marcus's. He was still holding on, still frozen. She yanked harder, finally got free. You told me you were divorced, she screamed at him. You told me your marriage ended years ago. You lied to me! I never said I was divorced, Marcus said weakly. I said it was complicated. It's complicated means you're still married. Jennifer shrieked. She looked at Vanessa. I didn't know. I swear to God I didn't know. He said he was single. He said, I don't care what he said. Vanessa screamed. Do you know what today is? It's my birthday. My 31st birthday. And you're here with my husband at a restaurant dressed like that. She gestured wildly at Jennifer's red dress. Mom stood up from our table. Her face was pale, shocked. Marcus, I think you should leave right now. Dad stood up too. He looked like he wanted to hit something or someone. His fists were clenched. Now, Marcus looked around wildly. At Vanessa, at Jennifer, at Emma, who was crying silently at the table, at all of us, at the dozens of strangers recording this entire meltdown on their phones. Vanessa, I'm sorry, he said. His voice was desperate, pleading. I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen. I never meant for you to find out this way. Find out this way? Vanessa's mascara was running now, black tears streaking down her perfect face. What way did you mean for me to find out? Were you ever gonna tell me? Or were you just going to keep lying to me forever? I don't know, Marcus admitted. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. You weren't thinking? Vanessa's voice hit a pitch I'd never heard before. Pure anguish. We've been married for 12 years. We have a daughter. We have a house. We have a life. And you weren't thinking? Jennifer was backing toward the door. I'm leaving. This is insane. I didn't sign up for this. You didn't sign up for this? Vanessa whirled on her. You're sleeping with a married man. What exactly did you sign up for? He told me he was divorced. Jennifer's voice was defensive, shrill. How was I supposed to know he was lying? Maybe by doing literally any research, Vanessa shot back. Maybe by asking to meet his friends, his family. Maybe by questioning why you only ever saw him on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maybe by using your brain. Jennifer's face went red. I don't have to listen to this. She turned to leave. That's right, run away, Vanessa screamed after her. Run away like the coward you are? Home wrecker? Husband stealer? I didn't know he had a home, Jennifer screamed back. Then she was gone. Out the door, into the November night. Running in her too high heels and her too thin dress, Marcus stood there, alone now, facing his wife, his daughter, his entire family, 50 strangers, dozens of phones, baby, he said softly, brokenly. Please, can we just go home and talk about this? Don't call me baby, Vanessa said. Her voice had gone quiet now, cold. The screaming was over. This was worse. Don't call me anything. Just tell me. How long? What? How long have you been seeing her? Marcus looked at the floor. 8 months. Vanessa made a sound like she'd been punched, a small hurt gasp. 8 months. You've been lying to me for 8 months? I'm sorry. You're sorry. She laughed again. That broken glass sound. 8 months of Tuesday and Thursday meetings. 8 months of working late. 8 months of lies. And you're sorry? Emma was full on sobbing now, her face in her hands, shoulders shaking. Aunt Linda had moved over to comfort her, to shield her from this. But there was no shielding. The damage was done. Emma had just watched her father destroy their family in front of a restaurant full of strangers. Mom was crying too, silent tears running down her face. Dad looked sick, pale and nauseous. This wasn't just Vanessa's marriage falling apart. This was our whole family. Everything we thought we knew. Everything we believed about Marcus, about their relationship. Gone, shattered, broken beyond repair. And I had done this. I had orchestrated every moment of it, had planned it, had wanted it, had made it happen. The guilt hit me then. Not a small twinge, a tidal wave. I looked at Emma crying, at Mom's tears, at the horror on Dad's face, at Vanessa's ruined makeup and broken expression, at Marcus standing there looking like a man who wished the earth would swallow him. What had I done? Get out, Vanessa said quietly. Vanessa, get out! She screamed it this time, loud enough that people 3 blocks away probably heard. Get out of this restaurant. Get out of my life! Get out! Marcus looked at her for one more moment. Then he turned and walked out, slowly, heavily, like a man walking to his own execution. The door closed behind him with a soft click that somehow sounded louder than all the screaming. The moment he was gone, Vanessa's legs gave out. She collapsed right there, right in the center of Bellissimo, in her beautiful black dress, under the happy birthday banner with her name on it. She just crumpled like a puppet with cut strings. Mom and Aunt Linda rushed to her, caught her before she hit the ground completely, helped her into a chair, our chair, at our table, under the glittery decorations I had hung. At the party I had planned, Vanessa was sobbing, huge, gulping sobs that shook her entire body. The kind of crying that hurts. That sounds like pain made audible. She couldn't catch her breath, couldn't stop. The sobs just kept coming and coming and coming. Antonio appeared at my elbow. His face was shocked, concerned. Miss Melissa, perhaps we should move your party to a private room. Away from everyone? I looked around. Every single person in the restaurant was staring at us. Some were still recording. Some were whispering to each other. Some just looked uncomfortable, like they'd witnessed something they weren't supposed to see. Something intimate and ugly and raw. Yes, I said. My voice sounded strange, distant. Yes, please. Antonio and his staff quickly helped us move. They ushered everyone from our table toward the back of the restaurant, toward one of the private dining rooms. Vanessa could barely walk. Mom and Aunt Linda had to help her, support her, practically carry her. Emma followed behind, still crying. Kelly and Amber from book club walked with her, trying to comfort her. But what comfort was there? She had just watched her father's betrayal, her family's destruction. Had it recorded on strangers' phones? Would probably see it online later. Would probably see it forever. The private dining room was small, quiet, away from the prying eyes and recording phones. We all filed in. The servers moved quickly, transferred our table settings. Our food orders that hadn't arrived yet. The birthday cake I had ordered. They were professional, efficient, pretending like they hadn't just witnessed the most dramatic scene in their restaurant's history. The door closed, shutting us in, shutting the rest of the world out. Vanessa sat in a chair and continued to cry. She had her face in her hands, her shoulders shaking, her perfect hair falling out of its pins, her mascara everywhere. She looked destroyed, devastated, broken, and I had done this to her. Mom looked at me over Vanessa's head. Her eyes were confused, hurt, questioning. Melissa, she said slowly, how did you know to book this restaurant? Did you know Marcus would be here? The room went silent. Even Vanessa's sobs paused. Everyone was looking at me, waiting for my answer. I could have lied. Probably should have lied. Could have said it was a coincidence, that I had no idea, that I just thought it was a nice restaurant, that this was all terrible luck and bad timing. But I didn't. Yes, I said. My voice was clear, steady. I knew. The room erupted. You knew? Mom's voice cracked. Oh my God, Aunt Linda breathed. David, Marcus's brother, stood up. You knew my brother was cheating and you didn't say anything? Dad's face had gone hard, cold. Melissa, what did you do? Vanessa looked up at me. Her face was destroyed, makeup smeared everywhere, eyes red and swollen, nose running. She looked like someone had reached into her chest and ripped her heart out. Because someone had. Me. You knew? Her voice was barely a whisper. You knew Marcus was cheating? I found out 3 weeks ago, I said. My hands were shaking, but my voice stayed steady. I saw them at the mall. I hired a private investigator. I got proof, photos, timeline, everything, and then I planned this party. Why? Mom demanded. Why would you do this? Why not just tell her privately? Why like this? Why in public? Why on her birthday? I looked at Vanessa. Only at Vanessa. At my sister who had tormented me for 28 years, who had destroyed every birthday I ever had, who had made sure I was always invisible, always forgotten, always in the shadows while she shone. Because, I said slowly, she ruined every birthday I ever had. Every single one. For 28 years. So I ruined hers. The silence that followed was deafening. Vanessa stared at me, her mouth open, her eyes wide, like she couldn't process what I had just said. My birthdays? She finally whispered. You did this because of your birthdays? Not just my birthdays, I said. My voice was getting harder, sharper. All the rage I'd been holding in for 28 years was coming out now. Everything. The emergency room on my 7th birthday when you faked being sick. The lice rumor that ruined my 10th birthday sleepover. The fake pregnancy announcement the night before my 13th birthday. The proposal you hijacked at my sweet 16 that I paid for with my own money. The baby announcement at my 18th birthday dinner. The car accident excuse that made me cancel my 21st birthday plans. The trip to Seattle I lost money on because you needed me to watch your house. Every single year, Vanessa. You made sure my day became your day. You made sure I was invisible. You made sure no one remembered me. She just stared at me. Everyone stared at me. So you wanted revenge, Vanessa said flatly. Yes, I admitted. I wanted you you to know what it felt like, just once, to have your special day destroyed, to have everyone watching, to have it all fall apart in the worst possible way. I wanted you to feel what I felt. All those times, all those years. Melissa, Mom said. Her voice was shaking. This is cruel. This is so cruel. She's your sister, and I'm hers. I shot back. Was it not cruel when she locked herself in the bathroom on my 7th birthday? Was it not cruel when she told everyone I had lice? When she announced her fake pregnancy? When she proposed at my party? When she made every single birthday about her? That was different, Mom said weakly. How? I demanded. How was that different? She was young. She was insecure. She was struggling with self-esteem issues. She needed the attention, and I didn't. My voice cracked. I was a child too, Mom. A child who wanted one day, one single day where I mattered, where I was seen, where I was celebrated, but I never got that. Because every time it was my turn, Vanessa made sure it became her turn instead. And you let her. Every single time, you just let it happen. Mom looked stricken. We tried our best. Parenting isn't perfect. We made mistakes. Mistakes? I laughed bitterly. Forgetting to sign a permission slip is a mistake. Missing a recital is a mistake. Letting your daughter systematically destroy her sister's childhood while you watch is not a mistake. It's a choice. Dad cleared his throat. Melissa, we understand you're upset about the past, but what you did tonight, exposing Marcus's affair in public like this, that's not justice. That's cruelty, is it? I turned to him. Marcus was cheating. He was lying for 8 months. Vanessa deserved to know. She deserved to know privately. Aunt Linda cut in. Not like this. Not in front of everyone. Not recorded on phones. That's going to be online, Melissa. Everyone is going to see this. Everyone is going to know. Vanessa's humiliation is going to be public. Forever. Good, I said coldly. Let everyone see what Marcus really is. Let everyone know he's a cheater. A liar. Let everyone see the truth. But at what cost? Kelly spoke up from the corner. Emma just watched her father destroy their family. She's going to be traumatized by this. She's going to remember this forever. Her mother's birthday, her father's betrayal. All of it. That's on you. I looked at Emma. She was still crying. Quieter now, but still crying. Amber had her arm around her. Kelly was holding her hand. My 15-year-old niece who I loved, who I had babysat, who I had taken to movies and bought ice cream for and helped with homework. She looked broken. The guilt twisted deeper in my chest. I hadn't thought about Emma. Not really. Not beyond knowing she'd be hurt by the divorce. But I hadn't pictured this. Hadn't pictured her watching it happen in real time. Hadn't pictured her face, her tears, her pain. I'm sorry, Emma, I said quietly. I didn't mean for you to be hurt, but I am hurt, Emma said. Her voice was small, young, so young. Everyone saw. Everyone knows. Everyone's going to be talking about this at school, showing videos, making fun of me. My dad's a cheater. My mom's a joke. And my aunt planned the whole thing. Each word was a knife, sharp and precise and painful. You hate me that much? Vanessa asked suddenly. She was staring at me with this expression I couldn't read. You hate me enough to do this, to destroy my marriage, my family, my daughter's sense of security? I looked at her, really looked at her, at my sister, the woman who had tormented my entire childhood, who had made every birthday about her, who had taken every moment that should have been mine and made it hers, who I had hated and resented and wanted revenge against for so long. I don't hate you, I said honestly, but I needed you to understand. I needed you to feel it, just once. What it's like to have your day destroyed, what it's like to be humiliated publicly, what it's like to have everyone watching while your pain becomes entertainment. So you made my pain entertainment, Vanessa said. You made my marriage-ending entertainment. You made my humiliation entertainment for strangers, for the internet, forever. You made my pain entertainment for years, I countered. Every birthday, every special moment. You turned my pain into your drama, my invisibility into your spotlight. I was a child, Vanessa shouted. I was young and stupid and selfish and cruel, but I was a child. What you did. You're 31 years old, Melissa. You're an adult. You planned this. You hired a private investigator. You set this all up. You're not a hurt child anymore. You're a grown woman who orchestrated her sister's public humiliation. Her words hit me like physical blows because she was right. I wasn't a child anymore. I was an adult who had made adult choices. Adult, calculated, cruel choices. I didn't know it would be this bad, I said weakly. You knew exactly what you were doing, David said angrily. You knew Marcus would be here. You knew Jennifer would be with him. You knew there'd be a scene. You wanted there to be a scene. You planned for there to be a scene. I just wanted Vanessa to see. You wanted revenge, Dad interrupted. Pure and simple. You wanted to hurt her the way she hurt you. And you did. Congratulations. You succeeded. I looked around the room at all these people who were supposed to be celebrating, who were supposed to be happy, who were supposed to be enjoying a birthday party. Instead, they all looked horrified, disgusted, disappointed, in me, in what I'd done. I think I should go, I said quietly. Yes, Mom said. Her voice was cold, distant. I think you should. I grabbed my purse, walked to the door, stopped, turned back. I really am sorry it happened this way, I said, looking at Vanessa, at Emma, at all of them. I didn't think it through. No, Vanessa said. You didn't. I left, walked out of that private dining room, through the restaurant, past the other diners who were still buzzing about what they'd witnessed, past Antonio who gave me a confused look, out into the cold November night. I got in my car, started driving, had no destination, just drove. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the steering wheel. My vision was blurry with tears. I hadn't realized I was crying. What had I done? What had I actually accomplished? Yes, Vanessa now knew what it felt like to have a birthday destroyed. But at what cost? Her marriage was over. Emma was traumatized. My entire family was horrified by what I'd done. And Marcus? Marcus was going to face consequences, sure. But Jennifer was gone. Probably already posting on social media about the crazy married man who lied to her. Probably already the victim in her own story. And me? I was the villain. The cruel sister who planned elaborate revenge, who destroyed a family, who traumatized a child, who prioritized her own hurt feelings over everyone else's well-being. I drove for hours, aimlessly, eventually ended up back at my apartment, sat in the parking lot, couldn't bring myself to go inside. My phone had been buzzing constantly in my purse. I finally pulled it out. 17 missed calls. 12 from mom, 3 from dad, 2 from Aunt Linda, dozens of texts. Most of them variations of, "How could you?" and "I can't believe you would do this." But there was one text from an unknown number. I opened it. "This is Marcus's brother David. What you did tonight was unforgivable. You didn't just hurt Vanessa. You hurt your whole family. You hurt Emma. Marcus is devastated. Jennifer quit her job and left town. She's getting threats online. Death threats. Because of the video. Because you made this public. This is on you. All of it." I felt sick. Actually sick. I opened my car door just in time to throw up in the parking lot. Heaved until there was nothing left. Until I was just dry heaving and gasping and crying. Jennifer was getting death threats? I hadn't thought about that. Hadn't considered that the internet would turn on her. Would blame her. Would harass her. Even though she didn't know Marcus was married. Even though she was lied to too. I wiped my mouth with the back of my hand. Sat back in my car. Stared at the dashboard. My phone kept buzzing. More texts. More calls. More notifications. I checked social media. Against my better judgment. Against every instinct screaming at me not to look. The video was everywhere. Everywhere. It had millions of views across multiple platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Someone had already made a compilation, set it to music, made memes. The comments were divided. Some people were on my side, calling me a genius, saying Vanessa got what she deserved, saying this was the perfect revenge, making jokes about karma and narcissists and birthday justice. But others were calling me a monster, saying I destroyed a family, saying Emma didn't deserve this, saying I went too far, saying I was cruel and calculated and worse than Vanessa ever was. And then there were the comments about Jennifer, hundreds of them, thousands, calling her names I won't repeat, saying she deserved to have her life ruined, saying she was a homewrecker even though the video clearly showed she didn't know Marcus was married. But people didn't care about facts. They cared about drama, about entertainment, about having someone to blame and attack and destroy. I turned my phone off. Couldn't look anymore. Couldn't read anymore. Couldn't face what I'd unleashed. I finally went inside my apartment. It was dark, cold, empty. I didn't turn on any lights. Just sat on my couch in the darkness, stared at the wall, thought about everything that had happened, everything I'd done, everything I'd destroyed. I poured myself wine, a large glass, then another, until the bottle was empty and I was numb, not drunk, just numb, feeling nothing, which was better than feeling everything. I must have fallen asleep on the couch because I woke up to knocking on my door, loud, insistent. I checked my phone. It was past midnight. Who would be knocking at this hour? I dragged myself to the door, looked through the peephole. Vanessa stood there, still in her black birthday dress, still with mascara streaked down her face. She looked terrible, but she was there. I opened the door slowly, cautiously, expected her to yell, to scream, to hit me. I would have deserved it, but she didn't. She just looked at me, tired, broken, sad. "Can I come in?" she asked quietly. I stepped aside. She walked past me, sat on my couch, right where I had been sitting. I closed the door, sat in the chair across from her. Neither of us spoke for a long time. Finally, Vanessa broke the silence. "I left him, Marcus. I went home after you left. Told him to pack his things and get out. He tried to explain, tried to apologize, tried to justify. But I told him to get out and not come back, so he's gone." I nodded. Didn't know what to say. What could I say? "The video has millions of views now," Vanessa continued. Her voice was flat, empty. "Everyone I know has seen it. Everyone we know. People I haven't talked to in years are messaging me. Some are supportive. Some are just watching the drama. Some are making fun of me. There are memes, Melissa. Memes of my worst moment, of my marriage ending, of my humiliation." "I'm sorry," I whispered. It felt inadequate, pathetic, but I meant it. "Are you?" She looked at me. "Are you really sorry? Or are you just sorry it went viral? Sorry people are calling you cruel? Sorry your family is disappointed in you?" I thought about that. Really thought about it. All of it, I admitted. "I'm sorry for all of it. I'm sorry I did it this way. I'm sorry Emma got hurt. I'm sorry it's online forever. I'm sorry Jennifer is getting threats. I'm sorry I let my pain turn into something so ugly." Vanessa was quiet for a moment. "I was a terrible sister," she finally said. "I know that now. I think I always knew it, but I told myself stories. Told myself you didn't really care. Told myself you got over it. Told myself it was just sibling stuff, kid stuff. Nothing serious." "It was serious," I said. "To me. It was everything." "I know." She wiped her eyes. The mascara just smeared more. "I know that now. I wish I had known it then. I wish I had been different. Better. I wish I had let you have your birthdays. Let you be seen. Let you matter. I wish I hadn't been so desperate for attention that I had to steal yours." "Why did you do it?" I asked. "Really, why?" Vanessa took a shaky breath. "Because I was terrified of being invisible, of not mattering, of being nobody. Mom and Dad, they loved you so easily. You were the baby, the cute one, the sweet one. Everything came naturally to you. Friends, school, life, and I had to fight for everything. Had to be perfect. Had to be the best. Had to be seen. Because if I wasn't seen, then what was I? Just the older sister? Just the one who was there first but didn't matter as much? That's not true, isn't it? She cut me off. Think about it, Melissa. Really think. Every time you succeeded at something, who did mom call first? You. Every time dad bragged to his friends, who did he talk about? You. Every family gathering, who got the most attention? You. Because you were effortless, natural, real, and I was trying so hard all the time and it never felt like enough. So I made myself matter the only way I knew how. By creating drama, by making scenes, by ensuring people had to pay attention to me. I hadn't thought about it that way. Hadn't considered that maybe Vanessa's cruelty came from the same place mine did. From feeling invisible. From feeling like she didn't matter. From needing to be seen. So we're the same, I said quietly. Both of us desperate for attention. Both of us willing to hurt the other to get it. I guess we are, Vanessa agreed. The difference is, I was a child when I hurt you. You were an adult when you hurt me. You had time to think, to plan, to choose differently. And you still chose this. She was right. Again, I had chosen this. Deliberately, methodically, cruelly. I can't take it back, I said. I wish I could, but I can't. It's out there. Forever. Your pain. Emma's trauma. Jennifer's harassment. Marcus's exposure. All of it. Because of me. Because of both of us, Vanessa corrected. If I hadn't spent 28 years being awful to you, you wouldn't have felt the need to do this. We both created this. Your revenge didn't come from nowhere. It came from years of my cruelty. Years of my selfishness. Years of making you feel like you didn't matter. So yeah, you did a terrible thing, but I spent 3 decades doing terrible things to you. We're both awful, just in different ways. We sat in silence again, processing, thinking, trying to figure out where we went from here. What happens now? I finally asked. With us? With the family? With everything? Vanessa shook her head. I don't know. Mom and Dad are furious with you. Aunt Linda is appalled. David called you a psychopath. Everyone thinks you went too far. I did go too far, I said. Yes, she agreed. You did, but she paused, looked at me. But for the first time in my life, I understand what I did to you. Not intellectually, not as an abstract concept, but I actually understand. I felt it. The humiliation, the pain, the betrayal of having something that should be yours turned into someone else's entertainment. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I made you feel that way. Over and over. For years, I felt tears on my face. I'm sorry too. For tonight. For Emma. For making it so public. I could have just told you privately. Should have told you privately. Yes, Vanessa said. You should have. But would I have believed you? Would I have taken it seriously? Or would I have made excuses for Marcus? Convinced myself you were lying? Jealous? Trying to ruin my marriage? I don't know. Maybe I needed it to be this dramatic. This undeniable. This impossible to ignore. That doesn't make it right. No, she agreed. It doesn't. But maybe nothing about any of this was ever going to be right. Maybe we were always heading here, to this moment. 2 sisters who hurt each other in different ways. 2 sisters who need to figure out if they can move past it. Or if the damage is too deep. Can we? I asked. Move past it? Vanessa was quiet for a long time. I don't know, she finally admitted. Part of me wants to hate you. Wants to never speak to you again. Wants to cut you out of my life completely. But the other part, she trailed off. What? The other part is grateful, she said quietly. Because if this hadn't happened, I'd still be married to a man who was cheating on me. I'd still be living a lie. I'd still be going to book club and work and smiling and pretending everything was fine while my husband was with another woman twice a week. You saved me from that. In the cruelest way possible. But you saved me. I hadn't thought about it like that either. Hadn't considered that maybe, underneath all the pain and humiliation and trauma, there was something that resembled a gift. The gift of truth. The gift of knowing. The gift of not wasting more years on a man who didn't value her. I should go, Vanessa said, standing up. It's late. Emma is at Mom and Dad's. I need to be there when she wakes up. Need to try to help her process all this. Need to be a mother even though I feel like I'm falling apart. She walked to the door, stopped, turned back to me. Melissa? Yeah? Thank you, she said. I blinked. For what? For caring enough to hate me, she said. For caring enough to want revenge. Because if you didn't care, you would have just let me live my life. Let me stay married to a cheater. Let me keep being a terrible sister. But you cared enough to make me see it, to make me understand, to force me to confront the truth about Marcus and about myself. So thank you. She left before I could respond. The door clicked shut. I sat there staring at it for a long time, trying to process what she'd just said, trying to understand how something so terrible could also be something she was grateful for. I didn't sleep that night. Just sat on my couch, thought about everything, about all those birthdays, about Vanessa's pain, about Emma's tears, about the video going viral, about becoming internet famous for all the wrong reasons. Morning came eventually, gray and cold and unwelcoming. My phone, which I had left off, had dozens more notifications when I finally turned it back on. More calls, more texts, more strangers asking for interviews. News outlets, podcasters, YouTubers, everyone wanted to tell my story, to dissect it, to analyze whether I was a hero or a villain. But there was one text that stood out. From Mom, sent at 7 a.m. We need to talk. All of us, as a family. Come to dinner tonight at 6. Don't be late, I texted back. I'll be there. The rest of the day crawled by. I called in sick to work. Couldn't face my coworkers. Couldn't face their questions. Couldn't face pretending everything was normal when my entire life had imploded. I spent the day reading comments online, torturing myself with what people were saying. About me, about Vanessa, about Marcus, about Jennifer, about Emma. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone had a judgment. Everyone knew exactly what I should have done differently. Some comments defended me. Said Vanessa had it coming. Said narcissists need to be taught lessons. Said this was poetic justice. Said I was a hero for exposing Marcus, for saving Vanessa from more years of lies, but more comments condemned me, said I was cruel, said I was vindictive, said I traumatized a child, said I destroyed a family, said I was worse than Vanessa ever was, said I should be ashamed, and I was ashamed. Deeply, profoundly ashamed. Not of wanting Vanessa to understand what she'd done to me, but of how I'd done it, of making it so public, of not considering the collateral damage, of letting my pain turn into something that hurt so many people. At 5:30, I got dressed, nice clothes, did my makeup, tried to look like a person who had their life together even though I felt like I was falling apart. Drove to my parents' house. Everyone was already there when I arrived. Mom, Dad, Vanessa, Emma, Aunt Linda, Cousin Rachel, even Marcus's brother David and his wife Christine. A full family meeting to discuss what I'd done, to decide what happened next. I walked into the dining room. Everyone went quiet. All eyes on me, judging, assessing, deciding. Sit, Mom said. Her voice was firm. Not warm like usual, just firm. I sat. We've been talking, Dad started. About what happened. About what you did. About what this means for our family going forward. I nodded, waited. What you did was wrong, Mom said. Cruel and calculated and wrong. But what Vanessa did over the years was also wrong. We failed to see that. Failed to stop it. Failed to protect you. So we share some responsibility for this situation. I looked up, surprised. Mom was admitting fault, taking responsibility. However, Dad continued, that doesn't excuse your actions. Emma has been traumatized by this. She's seeing a therapist starting next week. The video is everywhere. Kids at her school are talking about it, making fun of her. She can't escape it. Emma wouldn't look at me, just stared at her plate. My heart broke. Marcus has moved out, Vanessa said. Her voice was quiet, tired. We're getting divorced. He's already hired a lawyer. I've hired one too. It's going to be ugly and expensive and painful, but it's happening. Jennifer has deleted all her social media, David added. His voice was accusatory, angry. She's getting death threats, harassment. She had to quit her job because people found out where she worked and were calling, threatening her. She's left town, might have to change her name, all because she dated the wrong guy, because my brother lied to her, and because you made it public. The guilt was suffocating. I could barely breathe under the weight of it. So here's what's going to happen, Mom said. You are going to publicly apologize. You're going to make a statement online. You're going to explain that you acted out of hurt and anger, that you regret making this public, that you're sorry for the harm caused to Emma and Jennifer, and you're going to mean it. I do mean it, I said quickly. I'm so sorry to all of you, especially to Emma. I never wanted you to be hurt, but I am hurt, Emma said. Her voice was small but strong. She looked up at me for the first time. You hurt me. You hurt my mom. You hurt my dad. You ruined my family. And now I have to deal with everyone knowing, everyone watching, everyone having opinions about my life. Because of you, every word was deserved. Every word was true. I know, I said, and I'm sorry. More sorry than I can express. If I could take it back, but you can't, Emma interrupted. You can't take it back. It's done. It's out there. Forever, my worst day. My family falling apart. All of it. Online. For millions of people to watch, to laugh at, to comment on. That's my life now. Because of you, I had no response. No defense. She was absolutely right. We're not cutting you out of the family, Mom said, but things are going to be different. You need to respect that Vanessa and Emma need space. You don't get to just show up. You don't get to expect things to go back to normal. You caused real harm, and there are consequences for that. I understand, I said. Do you? Vanessa asked. Do you really understand? Because I don't think you thought any of this through. I don't think you considered anyone but yourself. Your pain, your revenge, your satisfaction. Everyone else was just collateral damage. She was right. Again, always right. You're right, I admitted. I didn't think it through. I was so focused on making you feel what I felt that I didn't consider anyone else. Didn't think about Emma or Jennifer or how viral it would go or what the lasting damage would be. I just wanted you to understand, to know, to feel it. And I did that in the worst possible way. Yes, Vanessa agreed. You did. So what now? I asked, looking around the table at my family, at these people I loved and had hurt. Where do we go from here? Therapy, Mom said. You need therapy to deal with your anger, your resentment, your inability to handle your emotions in healthy ways. Okay, I said. I'll start therapy, and you stay away from Vanessa and Emma unless they invite you, Dad added. No showing up uninvited. No trying to force reconciliation. They get to decide when and if they want you in their lives again. Okay, I agreed. And you make that public statement, David said. You make it clear that Jennifer didn't know Marcus was married, that she's not the villain here, that people need to leave her alone. You try to undo some of the damage you caused. I will, I promised. I'll post it tonight. Everyone nodded. The sentence had been delivered. The terms set. I was on probation with my own family. The dinner that followed was awkward and stilted. People made small talk, avoided mentioning the video, avoided looking at me too much. I ate mechanically, tasted nothing, just went through the motions. After dinner, as people were leaving, Vanessa pulled me aside. I meant what I said last night, she told me quietly. I'm grateful. Under all the pain and anger and humiliation, there's gratitude. Because I needed to know, and I needed to see what I did to you. I needed to understand, and I do now. So thank you. And also, I hate you a little bit. And also, I love you, because you're my sister. And this is complicated and messy, and we might never fully fix it, but I want to try. Tears filled my eyes. I want to try too, but not yet, she said. Not for a while. I need time. Emma needs time. We need to heal, to process, to figure out who we are after all this. I understand, I said. Do you? She looked at me intensely. Do you understand that it might be months? Years? That things might never be the same? I do, I said, and I'll wait. However long it takes, she nodded. Didn't hug me, just nodded. Then she left with Emma, got in her car, drove away. I went home that night and wrote the statement, drafted it, redrafted it, tried to find the right words, the right tone, apologetic but not excuse-making, sincere but not performative, acknowledging harm but not wallowing in self-pity. I posted it at midnight, across all platforms, a full statement explaining what I'd done, apologizing to Emma, to Jennifer, to everyone affected, acknowledging that I'd let my pain turn into cruelty, that I'd made terrible choices, that I was deeply sorry. The response was immediate. Thousands of comments. Some accepted the apology, some said it wasn't enough, some said I was only sorry I got caught, some said I was brave for owning it, some said I was still a monster. I turned off my phone, couldn't read anymore, couldn't handle more opinions, more judgments, more strangers weighing in on my life. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The video slowly faded from being viral news to being old news. New scandals emerged. New drama captured attention. People moved on to the next thing. But my family didn't move on quite as quickly. I started therapy like I promised, twice a week, working through my childhood, my resentment, my inability to process emotions in healthy ways, learning how to set boundaries, how to communicate, how to handle conflict without destroying everything. Vanessa filed for divorce. It was ugly like she predicted. Marcus fought for custody of Emma, fought for the house, fought for money, turned into someone bitter and vindictive. Their 12-year marriage ended in a courtroom with lawyers and fighting and pain. Emma struggled, really struggled, saw a therapist weekly, dealt with bullying at school, dealt with the video resurfacing every few months when someone new discovered it, dealt with her family being broken, with her trust in her father shattered, with the public nature of her private pain. Jennifer moved to another state, changed her last name, started over. Eventually the harassment died down. Eventually people forgot about her. She became just another person in another city living a quiet life away from the spotlight. And me? I existed in this weird limbo. Not quite part of the family, not quite excluded, invited to some gatherings but not all, allowed at Christmas but not Thanksgiving, present but peripheral, there but not quite welcome. I threw myself into work, got a promotion, focused on my career, made new friends who didn't know my history, who didn't know about the video, who just knew me as Melissa, not as that woman who exposed her sister's husband's affair at a birthday party. It took 8 months before Vanessa reached out. 8 months of silence except for brief polite exchanges at family gatherings. 8 months of distance and healing and processing. She texted me on a random Tuesday. Want to get coffee? My heart raced. Yes, when? Tomorrow? 10 a.m.? I'll be there. We met at a quiet cafe on the edge of town. Somewhere we were unlikely to be recognized. Somewhere we could talk without people staring. Without people recording. Vanessa looked different. Thinner. Older. But also lighter somehow. Like she'd been carrying weight and finally set it down. We ordered coffee. Sat at a corner table. Didn't speak for a moment. Finally, Vanessa broke the silence. Emma asked me to tell you she's doing better. Therapy is helping. She's not ready to see you yet, but she wanted you to know she doesn't hate you. Relief flooded through me. Thank you for telling me. The divorce finalized last week, Vanessa continued. Marcus got partial custody of Emma every other weekend. She hates it. Hates going to his apartment. Hates seeing him. But the court said she has to until she's 18. I'm sorry, I said. Are you? Vanessa asked. Not accusatory. Just curious. Are you sorry about the divorce? About how it ended? Or just sorry it was messy? I thought about that. Really thought both. I'm sorry it ended the way it did. Sorry Emma got hurt. Sorry it was so public. But I'm not sorry you found out. You deserve to know. You deserve to be free of a man who was lying to you. I just wish I'd done it differently. Vanessa nodded slowly. I've been thinking about that a lot. About whether there was a better way. And honestly, I don't know. If you'd told me privately, I might not have believed you. Might have made excuses for Marcus. Convinced myself you were lying. Making it up. Jealous of my marriage. I might have needed it to be that dramatic, that undeniable, that public. To actually see the truth. Or, I countered, I could have just shown you the private investigator's report. Let you confront Marcus privately. Let you decide how to handle it. Maybe. Vanessa agreed. But would I have? Or would I have swept it under the rug? Tried to fix things? Stayed in a broken marriage for Emma's sake? For appearances? I don't know. And I'll never know. Because you made that choice for me. We sat in silence, sipping our coffee, processing. I've been working on myself, Vanessa said finally. In therapy, realizing how narcissistic I was. How I made everything about me. How I hurt you. How I hurt Emma by modeling that behavior. How I need to do better. Be better. Me too, I said. Realizing how I let resentment turn into cruelty. How I prioritize revenge over compassion. How I need to handle my emotions better. So we're both works in progress, Vanessa said with a small smile. The first smile I'd seen from her in months. Yeah, I agreed. We are. Can I ask you something? Vanessa said. Anything. Do you regret it? Really, truly regret it? Or just regret how it turned out? I thought about that question. The question I'd been asking myself for months. Both. I regret making it so public. I regret Emma getting hurt. I regret Jennifer getting harassed. I regret that the video went viral. I regret all of that. But do I regret making sure you found out about Marcus? No, I don't regret that. You deserve to know. Even if the way you found out was terrible. Vanessa nodded. That's what I thought. And honestly, I don't know if I can forgive that. The public humiliation. The way you chose to destroy my marriage. It's going to take a long time. Maybe forever. But I do understand why you did it. Why you felt you had to. Why all those ruined birthdays built up into something so explosive. I don't expect you to forgive me, I said. I don't know if I'd forgive me either, but I want to try, Vanessa said. Want to try to move past this? Want to try to build something new? Not what we had before. That's gone. That sister relationship died the night of my birthday, but maybe we can build something different, something more honest, something based on actually seeing each other as real people with real pain and real flaws. I'd like that, I said quietly. We finished our coffee, made plans to meet again in a few weeks. Small steps, careful steps, building a bridge over the crater where our relationship used to be. Over the next year, things slowly improved. Vanessa and I had coffee once a month, then twice a month, then weekly. We talked about real things, our therapy, our feelings, our childhood, our mistakes. We were honest in ways we'd never been before. Emma eventually agreed to see me. It was awkward at first, painful. She was angry, had every right to be, but slowly, very slowly, we rebuilt something. Not aunt and niece like before, but something. Some kind of relationship based on honesty about what had happened and what it cost. Mom and dad relaxed, included me more, stopped treating me like a bomb that might explode, started treating me like their daughter again. Marcus faded into the background. A weekend parent, a man who lost his family through his own choices. Emma told me he has a new girlfriend now, that she's nice enough, that Emma tolerates her for the weekends she has to be there. Jennifer, I heard through David, is doing well, has a new job, a new boyfriend, a new life where she's just Jennifer, not the woman from the viral video, just Jennifer and me. I'm still working on myself, still in therapy, still learning how to process anger and hurt in healthy ways, still learning how to set boundaries and communicate and be a better person. The video is still online, still gets views occasionally when it resurfaces. People still comment, still have opinions, but it doesn't define me anymore. It's just a thing that happened. A terrible, public, painful thing that happened. But not the only thing. My birthday came around recently, the first one since everything happened. I didn't know what to do. Didn't know if I wanted to celebrate after destroying Vanessa's birthday so spectacularly, but then Vanessa texted me, "Doing anything for your birthday? Probably not. Doesn't feel right to celebrate. That's ridiculous. Come over for dinner. Just you, me, and Emma. We'll order pizza. Watch bad movies. Actually celebrate you for once." I cried reading that text. Actually cried. Are you sure? I'm sure. It's time. It's been time. Come over. So I went, and we did exactly what Vanessa said. Ordered pizza. Watched bad movies. Emma even got me a card. It was awkward at first. We were all hyper aware of the history, of what birthdays meant to our family, of all the pain tied up in celebrations. But then Emma said something that broke the tension. At least no one's proposing or announcing pregnancies tonight. We all laughed. Really laughed. For the first time in over a year. Or faking emergencies, Vanessa added. Or spreading lice rumors, I said. Or exposing affairs, Emma deadpanned. We all stopped laughing. That one was too soon, too raw. But then Vanessa smiled. Or exposing affairs, she agreed. Let's not do that either. And we laughed again. Softer this time. More careful. But real, it wasn't a perfect birthday. Wasn't the magical celebration little 7-year-old me had dreamed of. Wasn't the party teenage me had planned for. Wasn't anything I'd imagined, but it was mine. Actually mine. And Vanessa was there, celebrating me, seeing me, making sure I was the center of attention in a good way. As I was leaving that night, Vanessa hugged me, really hugged me, for the first time since her birthday. "I'm still angry with you," she whispered, "but I'm also grateful. And I love you. And this is complicated and messy, but we're figuring it out." We are, I agreed. Slowly, but we are. Happy birthday, Melissa. Thank you, Vanessa. I drove home that night feeling something I hadn't felt in a long time. Not happy exactly. Not content, but something like peace. Like maybe we were going to be okay. Not today. Not tomorrow. But eventually the video is still out there. Still defining that moment. Still showing the worst thing I've ever done and the worst moment of Vanessa's life. It's our legacy now. The thing we'll always be known for if people dig deep enough. But it's not the whole story. It's not even the end of the story. It's just a chapter. A terrible, painful, viral chapter. But there are chapters after it. Chapters about healing, about forgiveness, about growth, about two sisters who hurt each other terribly and somehow found a way to move forward anyway. I still don't know if I'm a hero or a villain. I suspect I'm both, and neither. I'm just a person who was hurt and who hurt someone else in return, who made terrible choices, who caused real harm, who is trying to do better. Is that enough? I don't know. Maybe it's not about being enough. Maybe it's just about trying, about showing up, about doing the work, about being honest about the damage while still moving forward. The internet has moved on. New viral videos, new dramas, new scandals. My moment of infamy has faded into the background noise of endless content, but my family hasn't moved on. We're still here, still processing, still healing, still figuring out how to be a family after everything that happened. And maybe that's the real story. Not the viral video, not the public betrayal, not the dramatic confrontation, but what comes after. The slow, painful, difficult work of rebuilding, of forgiving, of learning to see each other as humans instead of villains or victims. My next birthday is in 6 months. I don't know what I'll do for it, don't know if we'll celebrate, don't know if Vanessa and Emma will want to be there, but I know one thing. Whatever happens, it will be mine. My day, my celebration, my moment, for the first time in 32 years, and maybe that's enough. Maybe that's what I was fighting for all along. Not revenge, not justice, not even understanding just visibility, just mattering, just being seen, even if it cost me everything to get it.